Are you up for another split batch video? Today, am I screaming? Today we're doing a split batch Neipa. Let's just get started. I'm Dr. Hans, this is Dr. Hans Brewery, my channel about beer and homebrewing. This is a sponsored video. I got contacted by HOMEBREWING and they asked me if I wanted to try some of their new yeast. Where's the yeast bags? Is this good content? Yeah, I got contacted by HOMEBREWING and they asked me if I wanted to try out some yeast here on the channel. And they sent some yeast, some brewing ingredients and some swag. So, split batch Neipa, this is already used, I already brewed it of course. So, grain to glass video, try the beer and yeah, I screwed up big time with this one, but it doesn't affect the real split batch experience with the two different yeasts. But I'm going to tell you all about it as usual. So, one is fermented with Garden Quake from Escarpment Laboratories. And yeah, the same company. And the other is their own blend, the HOMEBREWING Haze blend. So, two different yeasts, same beer. Let's jump into the brewing footage and then we'll come back and yeah, taste the beer. Okay, that was the brewing footage. Hope you enjoyed that. Here are the beers. I don't know how they will pick up at camera, but they are very light colored, super hazy, can't see through them at all. They have a little head on it, but it's very loose, and I'm going to talk about that. So we'll probably lose head. This was fermented side by side at room temp, and we did have a little fluctuation, but I'm gonna talk about everything. But yeah, I'm thirsty, so let's try out the beers. So this is the Ebbe Garden one. Both of these fermented down to the same gravity, down to 1010. This is going to be really hard. I've tried them both, but not side by side. Ebbe Garden. Really nice, hoppy, juicy. Like tropical fruits. This is the home brewery haze blend. They are very much alike. I don't think I could pass a blind test on the aroma. See, head is almost gone, and we're gonna come back to that. I almost didn't have any Krausen either during fermentation, but you might have saw that on the epic brewing footage. Both were fermented under pressure. I didn't pressurize as much as I needed to open up the fermenter for dry hopping. I can link to a video where I have a really messy accident when I had pressurized too high before dry hopping, so I will link to that one down below so you can see how to do it and how not to do it. Let's just dive in. Cheers. Ebbe Garden, really nice and fruity, easy drinking beers. It is a little bitter for the style. This is not a review of the beer kit they sent, because I screwed it up. I'm gonna spill all of it in a bit. This is a comparison between the two of these yeast strains. But this is a blend. And this is super interesting because this is split batch and everything has been the same. I got the same volumes in everything, and everything is the same. I haven't tried this side by side. This is the first time I've done it, but this has been my experience already. This has been my experience of these two beers. That this is too bitter and this is not. That's super interesting. This is a much better beer. This is the homebrewer haze blend. More of everything, more flavor, but no, not more of everything, because it's not as bitter, but more flavor. I think it has better mouthfeel, even though they fermented out the same, which is strange. But I'm guessing like the bitterness is hiding some of the sugar, so this is a very more balanced beer. This is a good beer, but it's too bitter, and this is a really nice beer. This is a session Neipa, because I screwed up. I want to tell you all about it. I were home, I was expecting a parcel. The parcel with the ingredients and the yeast should arrive somewhere between 9 and 11. I was thinking I would brew that day. So I got up early, set up the cameras and heated up the water and everything. I was ready by 9 o'clock. When did you think they arrived? After 11. So I was just a bit stressed out. Yeah, I'm just gonna like trying to cover up my mistake here. I screwed up. They also sent me some other yeast for another experiment. We can try that out. We could do a mock pilsner in an upcoming episode. But don't think just because I'm talking about an upcoming video that you should subscribe to this channel, because you shouldn't. My channel sucks. There are much better channels to go and subscribe to than mine. Yeah. So with that said, the parcel arrived, 2 big parcels with molds. They sent me one of these Neipa kits ×3 because I have the biggest system. I wanted to do a split batch. My contact there, he told me you are not getting like the normal packaging. You're getting like the ingredients and the recipe. So I glanced at the ingredients and on the recipe and multiplied that with 3, but I misread the malt. So I just used half the amount of pale ale malt, and I didn't really reflect on it because okay, I got a lot of malt over, but it's not unusual that when when I get sent stuff that they add more, like if it's like more package left space in the package. So I didn't reflect over it. I didn't take any gravity reading until I already chilled the beer down. So that this is a little bit off balance, it has probably to do with that. So instead of like 7 maybe, I don't have it, you know, on my head now, 7% beer, I ended up with like 5.4% beer, but that's not a bad thing at all. So actually when dry hopping, I scaled down the hops a bit, so I didn't add it all because I didn't want like either to like overpower the difference here with too much dry hop. I dry hop a lot, but not as much as the recipe said. I will try to run through some of the recipe, but this, as I said, this is not a review of the kit, but everything, the recipe was just fine. It was me like being stressed up by the times rushing, but still we got the split batch recipe. It's super interesting how much bitter this is than this one. I did save some of this yeast. I can try to brew with that again. This is a blend of 2 yeast strains, so, but we can talk about more about reusing blends in other episodes, but yeah, because there are some stuff we need to think about. Let me see if I can find my iPad and I will run through some sort of a recipe here. So this recipe is already uploaded in the Dr. Hans recipe book for my patrons to dig into. We call it HOMEBREWING Neipa, 5.4% instead. And this is not the recipe bonus. This is not the recipe you will get if you buy it from them, because I screwed it up and I changed it up. But we have pale ale malt and we have flaked oats. And if I had used all of it, it would have been like 19 kilos, I think, in the brewing system with the Golden 70, which has a max limit of 18, but I haven't tried that. So that would have been an interesting video, actually. So we can do that. Maybe we should do that. Should we max out the Golden 70 to try 18? Poof, yeah, let's do that another time. It's a nice basic recipe and I do enjoy that. This is for like 60 liters. I used 7.5 kilos of pale ale malt and 4.5 kilos of oats. I also use some rice hulls in there to not get it stuck. Always when I use a lot of wheat and oats and or rye, I haven't used much rye, but I try to use some rice hulls to get a better flow, and it wasn't an issue. And I boiled it for an hour, added some yeast nutrients. Didn't add any finings because we do want it hazy. I didn't add any hops during the boil, but I did a 50-minute hop stand with 150 grams of brew 1 and 150 grams of citra. After that I cooled it down and split it up into 2 vessels. I had a little accident also there when I kicked off the the tubing and stuff, but yeah, we rinsed that and sanitized again, and I didn't have an issue. After like 3 days of fermentation, and this yeast kicked off more or less straight away, but I didn't get much head. I'm gonna come back to that. I didn't get much head on the fermentation and don't have head. I could have cheated here. Come on guys, I could have cheated here just doing like the boss pour, but I didn't. Yeah, keeping it honest. But I don't think this has to do anything with the yeast and doesn't have anything to do with the recipe either. I think it has to do with another like long-term experiment I do, but I'm not sure. But I will do a separate video about that. Everyone wants a good head. I have a t-shirt linked to the Jesus store down below. Then I opened them up, added 100 grams of mosaic each. The temperature, it was yes, room temp, but it did fluctuate a bit, up to 25 to start with, then we went a little bit down to like 22. I bumped up the temperature in the end when I did the second dry hop after like on maybe like day 4, something like that. I added 150 grams of brew 1, 150 grams of citra and 200 grams of mosaic, split it up into 2 and bump up the temperature. So I wrapped it with blankets and shit and yeah, got the temperature up to like 28. Cold crashed them, and now here we have them. Both of these yeast fermented out nicely and they were fast. Not that they fermented out in a day or something like that, but they were fast enough to turn around in a week as normal. I tried to core a winner in the split batches, and this time it goes to the homebrew haze blend. They are both from the same company, so don't think that just because this is a sponsor video, because they are both from HOMEBREWING, right? So it doesn't matter to them, and I'm not for sale, so of course I am. No, the bitterness here, it also has to do with the recipe, but for this beer, because that's very important when we core a winner, for this beer with these screw ups here, this is the winner. I don't know if we have gone with the original one, the original recipe, if this would have been better. I don't think so, because I get much more like flavor of this one also, better mouthfeel, everything, but we never know. I will link down below to some information about these yeast strains. What is the perfect split batch experiments that you want to see? Please comment down below, and thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Då åkte Hans out. Yeah, choose this one. Now, go and watch this video.